leader after 2 rounds, Dustin Johnson, getting in his warm-up session, dressed in the all black. Didn't he wear all black on Saturday at the BMW?
I think he did. It seems like he's got his... It'll be interesting to see what he wears tomorrow, because it seems like he's got his set Sunday outfit.
Well, you can see right down at the bottom, if we can just pan that camera down just a little bit, you'll see TrackMan right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's the TrackMan right there.
Yeah, and they're not cheap, but it's a heck of an investment. It's been done wonders for him.
And it's worked for him. You look at the strokes gained category, the ranks this week, the strokes gained putting, good. Proximity to the hole, good. Tee to green. But I think it's the wedge play that has really given him the confidence, because he's 4th from 50 to 125. But I think it's bled over into his iron game, and I think it's just elevated everything. It's taking a lot of pressure off of him.
Well, he's driving the ball so beautifully, and that was the area of his game he needed to tighten up. Brother Austin on the bag.
Well, you know, you get the spin rate, you get the launch angle, you get the ball speed. You know, as you know, we take a look at everything, and you look at that in the TrackMan, and there's where it's being read, but there's, you read it off of the iPad or whatever that
tablet
device is,
yeah.
but there's the TrackMan right there, and that's the one that provides all the data, and then he reads it right off the tablet. And I mean, it's instant feedback, and you know, some guys
Off the T3 would have been just fine.
Okay, just calmly working through the bag.
Yeah, and with different wedge distances, you know, when you get that instant feedback, you can speed up your swing a little bit, you could take it a little bit longer, a little bit slower. You can really build up a lot of muscle memory and a lot of just knowledge.
Yeah, you get a feel.
Yeah.
You can match the numbers with the feel.
The ball didn't go out in the street. We'll see if he can capitalize. He's trying to close the gap on these guys, specifically the man in black. Dustin Johnson, just 3 minutes away from getting things going here in the 3rd round. And
Well, you have Kevin Chappell, 167 events without a win. But he does have 3 runner-ups this year. But then you have the man in black, as you talked about. He's got his first major at WGC, and he just continues to win every.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 11:30 starting time. Please welcome to the first tee, winner of the 2016 U.S. Open from the United States, Dustin Johnson.
only one player better. Strokes gained tee to green. The problem is DJ pretty good on the greens.
I'm going with 3-wood, and I like the play. Hit it in the left-hand bunker with a driver, opening day. Made birdie, but I think this is the proper play for him.
Now welcome to the first team from the United States.
That's okay.
Dustin Johnson's approach at the first.
Staring this one down. See again. Okay, maybe it wasn't the right club, but it was the right leave. It was the correct leave, the proper leave. Didn't bring it back into play.
Trying to land at 80 max? Yeah, I'd say
You're one behind that man. Dustin Johnson has provided us one of our memorable moments. He would go on to victory, puts him at #1 in FedEx Cup points, and he leads now. Heck of a year for Dustin Johnson. That day, the course record had been set a couple of times, and he went ahead and broke it. Is this a Player of the Year season right here, Billy?
I think so. When you start comparing the two seasons of Jason Day and Dustin Johnson, players have always given the nod to the major championships. He has a major championship at the U.S. Open. That carries more weight. The simple fact that Jason Day has had to withdraw the last two events because of back injuries, he was not able to complete the FedEx Cup playoffs. I think it's a done deal. I mean, Dustin Johnson is the Player of the Year.
We won't even have the debate.
I don't think there's any conversation from this point forward.
No. Day was the only guy who also has multiple wins, including a World Golf Championship. But DJ, a major, a World Golf Championship. Day with the Players in the World Golf Championship and the FedEx Cup. It would have been worthy of discussion, but he's withdrawn. So there's your Player of the Year right there.
No question.
Mark, does he get your vote?
Without a doubt, Brian Katrick. I mean, the performance that Dustin Johnson put on has just been sublime, and let's not discount all those top tens that he had. Now, Bill, I want to echo what you said about those really smart shots that both the final twosome hit here to the green. Kevin Chappell left it in the ideal spot. All the
Interesting. Southern Cal or California guy, all his runner-ups are in the Southeast.
How about that?
Bermuda grass. Now, Dustin Johnson, taking a look at this, Mark.
And he really would have gotten a bead on what the speed and the influence of the grain on Kevin Chappell's putt was, because he's got a ton of uphill in that shoulder off the left edge of the green to deal with. So it is sharply uphill initially, and again, very much into the grain. And I don't think, honestly, Bill, that Dustin can get this one started to the left enough.
Chance to extend the lead.
Yeah, just how much is this going to peel to the right? We saw Duffner really misread this putt.
It's all in the middle, right there.
Pretty good pace. And as a player, you define holes on the golf course that, okay, first hole, if I can play it even par for the week. 15th hole, the par 3, if I can play it even par for the week. 18th hole, I need to play that 3 under for the week. As a player, you define certain holes that, one, you're very satisfied with par. Other holes.
And thanks, Schwartzel, for Eagles. Here's our leader on the tee at 15.
And that is a 4-iron. It's hole hunting, but that's plenty of club for DJ.
Well, you talk about putting it back in the proper section of the green. Now you have a little putt down the hill. Great opportunity for Dustin Johnson to get it back to my.
So a couple good ones for our final group of the day, but it's gotten tight. DJ just one in front as he makes the walk around the lake.
Were the other way. You just hang on 16, 17, 18. You make 3 pars, 16, 17, 18. You're pretty much going to, if you have the lead, you were going to win the golf tournament. But now, a really, really good look right here, Mark, for Dustin Johnson.
It is a spectacular look at a birdie here, and I was just so impressed at the poise he showed there off the tee. We saw Justin Thomas earlier into the breeze, hit 5-iron through the back, and DJ went down to 4-iron, which when I got the signal was like, really? And he just kind of caressed one in there on a lower flight, hit short and released on beyond. And this is that putt that Emiliano Grillo made a little while ago, and it just kind of fell to the right. You've more just got to gauge the pace than anything else.
Well, if If you missed the story earlier in the playoffs, Dustin Johnson changed putters before the BMW Championship because he saw how many putts Jason Day was making. This is a similar model. Felt like he wasn't starting them online, and it has made a difference.
Great look from behind. Now he hit his start line. He hit his start line. How about that little bounce back? Here, let me bounce back and make a birdie on a par 3 that's 231 yards.
Red hot. Dustin Johnson makes his 5th birdie of the day. He's only...
Winds were the other way. You just hang on 16, 17, 18. You make 3 pars, 16, 17, 18. You're pretty much going to, if you have the lead, you were going to win the golf tournament. But now, a really, really good look right here, Mark, for Dustin Johnson.
It is a spectacular look at a birdie here, and I was just so impressed at the poise he showed there off the tee. We saw Justin Thomas earlier into the breeze, hit 5-iron through the back, and DJ went down to 4-iron, which when I got the signal, it was like, really? And he just kind of caressed one in there on a lower flight, hit short and released on beyond, and this is that putt that Emiliano Grillo made a little while ago, and it just kind of fell to the right. You've more just got to gauge the pace than anything else.
If you missed the story earlier in the playoffs, Dustin Johnson changed putters before the BMW Championship because he saw how many putts Jason Day was making. This is a similar model. Felt like he wasn't starting them online, and it has made a difference.
Great look from behind. Now he hit his start line. He hit his start line. How about that little bounce back? Here, let me bounce back and make a birdie on a par 3 that's 231 yards.
Red hot. Dustin Johnson makes his 5th birdie of the day. He's only...
For the first time. Ooh, this is seriously aggressive right here.
Yeah, all the way over to the right-hand side of the tee.
So I'm thinking his target line is more right there. I think that is ideal for him.
Right.
That's just a fraction left.
Good shot, DJ.
Oh, stop.
Are you kidding me?
That's the biggest run out you can get. There's one extra little slope there on the end. And how about Dustin Johnson?
Just 225, but that one's come out squirting to the right-hand side.
Well, I think he was always thinking that, okay, if I can't put it on the putting surface, where do I want to leave it? And the option was the front bunker. We've seen guys get it up and down from that front bunker with regularity. Sometimes as a player, you just have to understand, okay, where do I need to play this next one from, because I'm not going to be able to do the miraculous.
So Dustin Johnson now one back, green side in 2. Kevin Chappell with a wedge coming up. Taryn Schaefer standing by with Ryan Moore.
You're going to come to us now. Yes, Ryan, another great round today. 4 under. You got off to a better start today. What?
Dustin Johnson. Representing the University of California and Los Angeles Bruins, Kevin Chappell.
Dustin Johnson is generally unflappable. Missed the fairway at 17, was in a greenside bunker just like this one in 3 and didn't get it up and down. That's how he Came away with the 6. Third shot here.
And he's got the grooves of the rake job kind of quartering across him, so there's a little puff of sand right in behind the ball.
So what? He just lets it all go right off his back. This has been a year to overcome adversity for Dustin Johnson. You put him in a bad spot, you give him a bad break, he figures out a way out. Stuff that would bother anybody else doesn't seem to bother him. Dicey lie, no problem.
Saw him bounce back from the bogeys at 13 and 14. Birdie at 15. See if he can bounce it back here at 18 with this little short putt for birdie. Get it back to -8. I kind of wondered where he was going to be today. Because like Ryan Moore, I think there's a lot riding on this week where he is and where he goes from here. Now Dustin to tie for the lead.
All about contact here. There's not too much break. Just stay down and swing through.
And they are 2 shots clear of the field again. A little separation from these 2 long hitters. Never a doubt. Dustin Johnson shoots 1 under par, 69. The birdie at the last, good enough to get him into a tie.